Hello everyone, Super SG here with another dash cam video. That's right, this is the third one this year. I'm very surprised. So before I jump into the video, I just want to say a couple things. The camera quality is probably a little bit better. I also have it a little bit overhead. I got a new phone, and I've been using a phone to record pretty much all of my videos since day one. So fortunately, I have a new phone. I got the iPhone 12. Enough of that, let's go ahead and jump into this dash cam. This is the Vantrue N4. I reviewed the X4, I believe, not that long ago. If you're watching this video, it's probably been up for not that long. High-end dash cam for your drive, it says down here. Vantrue, on-dash N4. And then some QR codes you can scan to visit their websites. Vantrue, cool. The packaging's pretty nice from what I've seen, but, let's go ahead and just slice off some of this nice plastic wrap just to get a nice little edge in there. Ooh, let's get that knife out of here. Let's go ahead and peel this off. We'll go ahead and pull this up. Pamphlet stuff, so I'll move this over to the side in the corner. Peel this up, down and over. Cool, couple different things. We have a share guide, very similar to the last unboxing. Follow us. Cool. Quick start guide, as always. I always appreciate a quick start guide included with everything, so I don't have to read through the whole manual, but I always recommend you go through the entire manual for every product that you buy, just to make sure that you learn stuff. I always recommend going through the complete manual. So we'll put this over to the side, and there you go. You probably heard it smack on the floor a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at accessories first. So far, I'm very pleased with this packaging. It's very much like the Vava 2K dual dash that I reviewed on the channel earlier. If you're interested, click that pop out up in the right. We'll pull this out. This appears to be, well, I don't know what this is. A very long cable. I don't know what that's for. Well, we'll take a look at it a little bit later. We'll just pop this off on the side. Accessory down here. Gotcha. Okay, so I think this is the rear dash cam, and then this is the super long cable that goes from the rear view dash cam to the front dash cam, so it records all in one. We'll go ahead and pull the camera out and put it to the side. Come on. There. Bam. So suction cup mount with the plastic cover. Great. Pretty self-explanatory. And then we have a USB-A to USB-C. I greatly appreciate USB-C inclusion. This appears to be the 18-volt socket. Is it 18 volt? No. 12 volt? I think so. I don't remember. Yeah, pretty similar to the one previously. This swings out, so that way you have an extra USB port if you wanted to plug in your phone. USB-C on the other side. And then the moment you've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and clear everything out and get everything out of frame so we can concentrate on just this. The N4 camera. Nothing in the box. And then we'll go ahead and bam, that is a handsome looking camera. 3-channel 1080p full HD right there on the side. See? Ooh, Vantrue. Protective. And then that's of course where you would insert the suction cup mount that has the GPS sensor in it. The back of it, here's your little window, your screen, all of your function buttons. Very nice quality on these buttons. I'm impressed with that. And then of course the rear cabin camera, which is on a swivel mount, so you can swivel it forward and backward. That looks like a microphone over here on the side. And then you have a reset, power and USB to the rear camera. Then you have your micro SD card, and then your HDMI, it looks like a micro HDMI, Jesus. Micro HDMI, if that's even a cable, out. So you can video out of this. Underneath, oh, okay, here we go. You have your microphone, and then you have an IR switch here, IR blaster. Interesting. I don't know what that could be for. Maybe for some sort of button integration, kind of like the Vava 2K dual dash, but I don't see anything like that. So we'll go ahead and grab everything real quick. So we have the camera, the suction cup mount, the super long charging cable, the rear camera, and then you have your super long cable that powers your rear view camera, and then you have just some 3M pieces of adhesive. That is the complete unboxing experience. It took about 10 minutes to do everything and show you everything. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and play some dash cam footage right now so you can see exactly how it looks. So let's go ahead and jump over to that.
I think Halo 5's multiplayer is pretty good. I think it's underrated. I think the campaign, it's a little ish. But yeah, I think a lot of the younger I just think it matters because I think, this game's gonna be.
Alright, so we are now in my car, so I can kind of show you the setup that I have going on. So I just have it directly in front of the passenger seat for now, just because it's easier to get up on the screen to show you the interface of the screen. Typically I have it directly underneath my rear view mirror, but right now I just have it in front of me. So there are two cables that are attached to it. So one of them is the rear view camera power, and in order to record it as well, it has to be plugged into this. And then this is directly into the GPS mount, which is then connected to the camera through the mount itself. And then these two cables rather, I have fed. Typically they go up over top over here with some cable clips, and then they are fed into the trim. So right here, if you follow this all the way down, it goes into my car's trim all the way down. It's a little dark, but it goes on and over to the side underneath the seat and then wraps on over here. I do wish that this cable was a little bit longer, maybe by about a foot, so that way it goes directly under the seat and not kind of in front on the side up here in the front of it. I wish it was directly underneath the seat. So that's one thing that I hope they can improve on in future products, is just give a little bit of a longer cable. Other than that, the other cable that goes to the rear camera goes all the way back into my car's trim, back up over here, back on up over there, and then feeds over there. You can see it. It's dark outside. This is the best time I could take this video. And then the camera is right there. You can see it. Bam. And then of course I could have made the cable a little bit nicer, just kind of hanging out on the back seat. But just for a product review, I wanted to make sure I could test it and make sure everything worked properly. All right, so now we're on over here to the camera. You can see me up in the top left over there. Hello, with my phone covering it up. But this is the camera screen. So up at the top, you can see that there are a couple different options. On the very right, if you press it, it switches on to the IR camera or the whatever for night vision. Sorry. So that way you can choose to turn it on all the time, have it on automatic, or have it off all the time. It really depends on your driving situation. I typically drive with it on automatic, so it can adjust as need be. You have another button that switches and toggles between all the cameras to show you what is the primary. So of course you have your front facing camera, cabin facing camera, rear camera, and then just cycles back to the front. This is to turn audio on off if you want to record your microphone. And then up next, that is the actual record function. So you can press it, SD card error, please format SD card. So this is a new SD card that I put in here. So you will have to format your SD card before you are able to record anything. Now let's go ahead and do a quick menu dive. Couple of things. Go to the record setup. Focus, please. We have the resolution. So you can select resolution to, come on, you can do it. Go through, you can choose the front cabin and rear, front cabin, front rear, and just front. I do front cabin, rear. And then each different camera has different settings. So you can do 1440p with all three cameras. And then you can even do with the front and the rear, you could do 2K or 2.5K, I think, I don't remember. Or with the front and cabin, you could do 2K as well. But then if you want to just do the, come on, this menu is a little wonky. You can do 4K 30 with just the front camera, which is very awesome. Now let's go back to the menu. You can do loop record, how often you want to set your interval. Come on. You can do your IR LEDs, auto on or off, your G sensor sensitivity, audio recording, parking mode, if you want to turn parking mode on and off, exposure, wide dynamic range, You can put your car's number plate on there. You can have your stamp, so basically the watermark. If you want the time, the date, and your speed, you can choose which one of those you want on there. Rotate the display. That's for the rear camera, so if you had your camera the opposite way to feed the cable a specific way, you can basically do a 180-degree mirror on it, so that way it shows up the correct way when you record it. And then time lapse, if you wanted to do a time lapse recording for whatever reason, if you wanted to. And then you're back to the start. Now let's move on over to system setup. You have language, format SD card, time and date, auto LCD off, device sound, frequency of the screen, system info, and then reset the default. GPS on or off, speed unit between kilometers and miles per hour. And then you're back at the top. And then at the end, you have your files if you needed to glance at. And then you had your files. Sorry, my alarm went off, so I'll reset my recording. That is the interface of the camera. So let's go ahead and head back to my setup, and I can go ahead and discuss my final thoughts and opinions on the Vantrue N4 dash cam. All right, so it's finally time to give my overall thoughts and opinions on the Vantrue N4 3-channel dash cam. So first, I want to go ahead and get something out of the way. The dash cam that I've been using for a better half of a year now has been the VAVA 2K dual dash cam, and I'm spoiled. I really like this camera a lot. I think it's a great camera, so this has kind of been my default standard for any camera that I have reviewed since. This other Vantrue camera is going to be the third dash cam I'm reviewing, so really I'm holding this to the highest standard, and everything else kind of has to meet that because this is a really good camera. Now for the Vantrue N4, I like a lot of things about this camera. I really like the 3-channel camera system where you have a front, cabin, and rear-facing camera. I really like how you can change the resolutions between all of those. The parking features, the G sensor. I like how the parking has not only the G sensor but can also use motion sensitivity. The 4IR blasters on here, I don't know what they're called, for the night vision, so it's easier to see at night. The suction cup mount, I really like how the GPS sensor is built into the suction cup mount and not just a separate module like the VAVA 2K dual dash is. I love all of that functionality. I love how you can take this dash cam off of the suction cup mount, and then if you had a second suction cup mount in another vehicle, you could just clip it on and only have one camera. So I think all of that is amazing. Camera quality is fine. A couple things I don't like about it. Number one is I don't like, it feels a little cheap for the price point that you're paying for. Like, I don't know, the plastic is a little bit cheaper than I would have expected at this price point. Not that it's a bad plastic or anything like that, but compared to the VAVA 2K, I feel like this is almost like child toy plastic, whereas this is like, oh, this is hefty, this is like, it gets the job done. Vantrue is going to be watching this, and this isn't anything like I absolutely hate anything about this camera. This is just room for improvement that I think in their next generation or in their next camera that they could definitely take this advice and improve their products. They have good products. They actually have great products, but I think they can make it amazing if they just take a couple more things. I also wish that there was some sort of Wi-Fi functionality with this. I do wish I was able to have my phone connect to this camera via Wi-Fi and then download a clip or a screenshot or something along those lines and easily have it on my phone in order if I needed to back something up real quick because I saw something. No joke, with my VAVA 2K dual dash cam, I actually saw a car accident in front of me, and I was able to download the footage over Wi-Fi because this does have built-in Wi-Fi. Was able to download the footage, have it on my phone within a minute, and I could take it to the state trooper and say, hey, I saw the car accident. I have video evidence of what happened. I know who's at fault. Do you need to see it? Luckily, they didn't need to see it, but in those cases, it does help to be able to quickly transfer something to a phone and then show it and send it in an email or an attachment or something like that. Whereas this, you have to take the SD card out, give them the SD card, they have to make a copy of everything on it, you get the SD card back, they might even claim the SD card as evidence. So I really would like to see some sort of Wi-Fi connectivity on this in the future or future models. Another thing I would really like to see about this is VAVA has something really cool on their cameras called the dash button, and you can press this button, just a little knob, it's battery powered and is Bluetooth enabled. You press it once to take a screenshot of whatever the camera is seeing, press and hold it to take a 15-second clip. I would love if Vantrue had something like that, even if it was built onto a phone application where I can just press it on my phone over Bluetooth or over Wi-Fi or something and be able to record something really quick. I didn't see anything like that on this camera. I really wish that it had that. Nevertheless, just room for improvement in the future. I'm just driving home the Wi-Fi point. I would really like Wi-Fi just to be able to access files, control stuff on the camera. I think that's the next step for this camera. Other than that, I think this is a fine camera. It's a 1080p camera, but it's able to record in some cases in 2K, 1440p, 1080p, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, even 4K 30 frames per second on just the front dash cam alone without anything else. Overall, for the price point of $260, if there's a coupon on Amazon, I think that this is a great camera. I just think that there's definitely room for improvement. So if you ever see a second generation of this come out, maybe get the second generation. If they're still on the first generation, still think it's a great camera, and I still think it's a great buy. So that's all I got for this video. One more thing I totally forgot and I just remember right now. For some reason, Vantrue, figure this out. Every time it records audio through, the microphone and everything like that, it's always summed mono, but only in the left channel. Like it's not mono, but comes out both left and right channel. It's a sum stereo. It sums it into a single mono track, but only goes through the left. So everything that I've showed you in the video for all the dash cam footage, I deliberately had to adjust the panning and the stereo so that way it's coming through both left and right channel as opposed to just coming out the left. I didn't want to annoy you guys with that, so I did that myself to make sure that it was fixed, and it was driving me crazy. So Vantrue definitely fixed that. That is a very interesting quirk. Hopefully there's a firmware update for it that fixes that issue. But other than that, Vantrue, great camera. Really appreciate you sending it over for review purposes. I highly recommend this product if you are in the market for a 3-channel dash cam. If you're looking for maybe a 2-channel dash cam, Vantrue does offer other cameras, and I would definitely take a look and see what else you can find. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.